very important. Normally, when you're following a trail, it probably has a marking of a color. In this case, it's red. All right. The triangle means that this is the pointing down means that this is called the Arden Shorebridge Trail, but you don't need to know that for now. All right. When a marker is arranged in threes like this, with the leading edge up like this means trail terminal. Trail begins. All right, so that from looking at this, we know that this means the Arden Shorebridge Trail. We know that the Arden Shorebridge Trail starts here and goes in that direction, and it will be marked with one of these. Okay? Anybody tell me what would happen if this were down here?
Maybe that means go back.
Oh, where the trail ends.
Give that man a Penn Station brownie.
Okay.
Okay? That's correct. If you're facing it from the other direction, that means trail terminal, trail ends. Okay, so probably on one of these trees around here, there's one of these with the marker down here.
What happens if there's three markers just in a row?
It means the same thing. Trail terminal can also mean trail junction. So be careful with that. Generally, it's arranged the way he just described, 3 in a row or 3 up and down. But generally, the triangle like this means trail terminal. When I say terminal, does everybody know what I mean by terminal? Okay. It means trail begins or ends, like a bus terminal or an air terminal or a train terminal. Okay? All right, now, what I'd like you to do is move over to that like plateau over there. I want to show you something else. Try to avoid walking in the water, gentlemen.
Hey guys.
Boots are water resistant, not waterproof, despite what the manufacturer may have said. And in spite of technology. I want everybody over on that plateau right there. Okay, you can come a little closer.
In a little bit.
Maybe a little too efficient here.
There's a little bridge.
Somebody once asked Daniel Boone. Everybody knows who Daniel Boone was, right? Davy Crockett. You've heard of those guys? Okay. David Crockett was killed at the Alamo in 1836. That's how recent that was. But somebody once asked him if he had ever been lost. And he said, no, but I was a mite bewildered for about 5 days. And in the Scout Handbook, you'll see that no scout should ever be lost if he knows how to find his way. All right, well, one way we know how to find our way is through trail markings, which I just described over there. This is another trail marking here. Right here, you see where my foot is pointing? Okay.
Here.
This is, of course, a different color. I don't suppose anybody knows what trail this marks. Okay. This turquoise color is the long path. It starts at the George Washington Bridge and ends at Northville Lake Placid, the Northville Lake Placid Trail in the Adirondacks. It hasn't been completed across the Mohawk River Valley yet. In any case, wherever you see this turquoise mark, you can see the turquoise mark up there and see the LP above it, you know that you are on the long path. Now, normally you'll see a single marker like so. That means you're following the path the way you should. Okay? What happens when they're like that?
It means go left.
In this case, right. That's correct. In this case, it means go left.
And
I'm
if
sorry,
it's the
I
other
meant
way,
right is
it goes
correct.
the other direction.
Right. And what would it look like then?
And then it would look like with the upper square on the other side.
Right. If you'll notice, the lower one and the upper one are slightly offset. The upper one means go to your left. The double marker always means change of direction. Okay? Now, beware. Beware. When I was your age, they used the same notation except that the offset was not used. It was just one above the other. And it was up to you to figure out which way the trail went. All right? In some places, not all, but some places, that method is still in use. So beware. Okay? if you guys, we ever get to film on, or you guys go out west, you think you see forests like this?
No.
Rocks like this? No. What do you use?
Trees.
Your schnozola. You follow a trail, you have to know where it goes. And up until quite recently, please get out of the water. Please get out of the water. Okay, please don't walk in the water. Sometimes it's unavoidable, but I don't want your feet to get wet, okay? You have to follow the trail so that you have to know where you're going. You should always know where the trail goes. Now, obviously, that's a technique that takes a little time to develop. And that's the purpose of today's little walk. Anybody got any questions, comments, observations? Mr. Trigg would like to speak to you about some other matters. Wayne?
Yeah. Guys,
please give him your attention.
first of all, check your laces. Make sure every boot is done up. All right? Take a look. Make sure they're tied. All right? If your lace gets untied, stop and get it tied. You don't want anyone tripping and falling. The other thing is your packs. Make sure your packs are up as high as possible on your back. All right? Something like this. If there's any kind of an adjustment here, put it on. You have to tighten the shoulder straps. This should be up here on you, okay? So this has to be tight.
Martin?
Okay? As tight as you can deal with, okay? Make sure, okay. Now, we don't walk with our hands in our pockets. Why do you want to make sure your hands are out of your pockets?
Does it like fall?
In case you fall, okay? Next thing, when we're walking, don't stand exactly next to somebody. Why is that? Yeah. On this trail, you're going to see lots of rocks. On this trail, you're going to see lots of roots, okay? Also leaves. Leaves that'll be wet, leaves that'll be dry. All of that stuff is slippery. Make sure you watch where your feet are going, okay? Also, everybody's got their rain gear on. Make sure you keep it on until it stops raining, all right? Anyone gets wet, anyone gets cold, tell us about it, okay? Now we're going to be walking a loop. It's 3.8 miles, all right? We're going to probably gain a total of all the ups and downs of about 860 feet. That's about maybe 2/3 of the way up the Empire State Building. So it's going to be a little fun. It'll be challenging, okay? We will stop, all right, and give everyone a chance after about 10-15 minutes to adjust their equipment and see if they want to take anything off, all right? We will stop for water breaks and snack breaks. We do want you to drink. We do want you to eat something on the trail, okay? Also, if it does stop raining and we find the right spot, we may purify a little water. I've got the kit with me and we'll give it a shot. Hey, are there any questions? Any questions? Okay. All right, now, Marty?
Yeah, right here.
Marty is going to be our senior patrol leader for this hike. All right? What we want everyone to have a share in taking the lead with Marty. All right? We want you to watch out for the blazes on the trees, on the rocks, okay? We want you to tell us where we're going. And we want you to recognize what trail we're on. If we're on the red trail, everyone should know it's red. If we're on the blue, everyone should know it's blue. Just because the person in front of you is going a particular way, do not make the assumption they know what they're doing. Usually they don't. Okay?
That's what happened our last hike, if you remember, where everybody just kept following the person in front of them,
Yeah.
and we were all wrong.
Okay. Everyone's gonna have a shot at leading. Okay. Ready, Marty? Now, Marty, who's our drag? Who's our last person? Well, it'll be me. I don't mind. I'll be in the back. All right? What will happen here is that he and I have to keep each other in sight. If we lose sight of each other, what are we supposed to do?
Scream.
Stop. Get organized again. Okay? All right, Marty?
Okay, who would like to lead first?
Yeah, you can ask.